Hi, I'm Scott Willison, owner of the Confluence Fly Shop in Bellingham, Washington, and I am getting ready to go to Belize, and I'm super excited. So today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite bonefish flies for really anywhere bonefish inhabit, but this one works particularly well in Belize, and we're going to get right to it. This is a fly called a squimp, which is kind of a generic shrimpy pattern. As with all bonefish flies, I think having a number of flies in a variety of different weights in the 4, 6, and 8 size range is really important, maybe more so than the pattern itself. Lots of flies catch bonefish, but if your fly is too heavy for the water conditions you're fishing, if you're fishing really shallow water over spooky fish, you're going to want a light or unweighted fly. If you're fishing water that's four feet deep, you're going to want to fly with a little bit faster sink rate. Maybe throw some lead eyes on there. Today's fly is going to be kind of a medium sink rate, so not too fast, not too slow. In my vise, I have a Gamakatsu SL45 bonefish hook. This is in a size 4. And this is one of my favorite all-around bonefish hooks. I've been tying a lot on these lately. Nice, real stealthy hook with a black finish. So I've gone ahead and just started some thread. I've got 140 Denier Ultra thread in a tan color. And so kind of right above the point of the hook, I'm going to go ahead and start by mounting my eyes, maybe back just a little ways from the point. And these are a size small Pseudo eye with the yellow pupil. Sometimes you can tie these with the red pupils. They look really cool. You got all kinds of options. But I'm just doing some figure 8 wraps to get that situated on there. And then we're going to do some spiral wraps around the base. And on this one, we're actually going to throw a little bit of brush on Zap-A-Gap on there. These SL45 bonefish hooks are kind of a lighter wire, so you don't have a super wide base to get these eyes seated on. And the last thing I want is for these to spin on me. So we got a little bit of super glue in there. Just make sure those eyes are really firmly seated. A couple more wraps around the base. And I think we're probably good. Alright, so we're going to start with the tail. You'll see this fly often tied with craft fur or pseudo hair for the tail. Today I'm going to change it up a little bit, and we're going to use just a tan Arctic fox. One of the things I like about the fox is you still get a lot of mobility out of it in the water, but it is super durable. It will hold up to all of the fish I plan to catch with this fly. So we're going to tie in a little bit of a tail, and you'll notice I've wrapped down the bend a little bit. I kind of want this tail to stick up. Those eyes are going to make the fly flip and ride inverted or upside down. And so I want that tail and then the legs I'm about to put in to stand out. You can use all manner of legs with this. A lot of times we use the Bonefish Tan Loco legs, or the Chicone's Crusher legs in brown and clear is a good one. Today we're going to get real radical, and we're going to use orange legs. These are the crazy legs with the orange black pumpkin flake. Alright, and I've got one leg here for the back. I'm just going to tie that half rearward, half forward. and fold that over. So we're going to have one leg on either side. And then while we're at it, we're going to go ahead and trim those up just a little bit longer than the tail there. So we'll get a lot of movement out of this fly. Now for the next step, I am going to make a dubbed body. Now, you'll see this done lots of different ways. Some people use chenille on this fly. I've used polar chenille, various things. But today we are going to make good use of a product that I've been tying a lot with, and that is tan craft fur. But instead of using this long wispy stuff that you would use for tails and wings, we're actually going to use all the little fuzzy stuff at the base here that otherwise just gets thrown out with a patch. And I'm just going to go in with my scissors and start trimming that off. And you'll see I've got basically a nice little pack of dubbing here. And I'm not going to try to put that all on at once because this stuff is sort of coarse. So I'm going to work with a little bit at a time, and we're just going to twist that onto our thread. I do this one with tan scud dub a lot, but thought it'd be a great opportunity to make use of all of this tan craft fur I've got lying around. So we're just dubbing on a little bit at a time. A lot of people make the mistake of trying to go with all their dubbing at once, and you end up with a mess on your hands. So a little bit at a time. The beauty of dubbing is that you can always add more if you don't have enough. I'm just going to do some figure 8 wraps around the eyes here. There we go. I've got the eyes done. We're going to do a little bit of a reverse taper. So this fly is going to actually get a little bit skinnier as we move forward. And real quick, I didn't get a real good thread base down earlier, so we're just going to tidy that up so we've got a good platform for our dubbing to stick to. Get a little bit more. Pull that last little bit off. And then if you want to make this thing look even buggier, I've got a Hairline Ultimate Dubbing Brush, and I'm just gonna, I like buggy looking flies, so we're gonna comb some of that craft fur dubbing out. Alright, and then next thing I'm going to do is invert the hook, and our next few steps are going to be done on the underside. So this will be the top of the fly when it's in the water. I'm going to take another little pinch of that tan craft fur, or tan Arctic foxtail. And I'm just going to pull out some of that under fur. Because I don't have a lot of room to tie this in at the head, so. Alright, and we're going to have that wing extending just slightly beyond the back of the hook there. Sometimes you can lift up and take a couple wraps underneath. That'll allow you to get in there very carefully with the scissors and cut that really close. Alright. Next up, we are going to add more legs. So I've got two bits of the same orange rubber leg material here. I'm going to start by tying on the near side of the hook. And I've just sort of loosely put those into place and then adjusted them afterwards. And then we'll do the same thing on the far side of the hook. Just kind of get them situated and then you can pull them up. These should be more or less in kind of an X pattern here. Alright. Last step I'm going to do is add just a little bit of flash. I like this fly because it's really subtle in the water. It doesn't have a lot of flashy parts, but this will be just a little attention getter here. I use, in this case I'm going to use a Rootbeer crystal flash, and I just have a single strand that I will just center tie kind of on top of that wing. We'll fold the other side of it over. So I've got one strand of flash going down each side of the fly. And then we'll make sure our legs are where we want them. Go ahead and trim off these front ones here just so they don't get in the way of my whip finish. And then we'll just do a whip finish in there. Cut our thread, and then I'm going to trim these legs up. The rearward facing legs, I'm going to have those go back about to the end of the body. And you want to be careful doing this that you don't inadvertently cut your crystal flash off. There we go. And then the front legs will be a little bit shorter there. Going to trim this flash about even with the whole fly, so it'll run the length of the fly. And then our last little step here, just to make this thing nice and durable, I'll put a little bit of the bone dry Solares ultra thin formula. And actually I'm going to shorten up that flash just a little bit. And there you have it. That's what it's going to look like in the water. That wing is kind of a carapace, and you got lots of moving parts and rubber legs and enticing wiggly things to get those bonefish interested. So be sure to tie up a few of these squimps before your next bone fishing trip. You'll be thankful you did. As always, you can find the materials for this and many other flies at the Confluence Fly Shop in Bellingham, Washington. For more content, please be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope to see you in the shop or on the water. Thanks for watching.